Just let me know if the sound is okay or quieter. I will make it a bit louder. It's good for now. Okay, good. Then I guess we can start our stream right now. Like, hope the sound will be like this good and stuff. Or should did the chat disappear on my side? Hold on. Oh, here we go. It's just loading. Okay. Hi. How are you doing? How was your day? Hope you didn't have a rain like I did today. Because tonight it was really scary with the storm, and my first reaction, well, normal people would say, oh shoot, it's storm and the day will be ruined. What I was thinking, like, oh shit, my internet will be jumpy again. Oh shoot, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna stream? Unfortunately for now, it is good. So yeah, before we're starting, should I say continuing our story, I would like to say thank you again, Jenny, my dear sister, for making such adorable thumbnail. I honestly couldn't imagine Nico being as a kid and look like this. So cute. I know he will curse me later, but gosh, he's so adorable. And also like the idea of his t-shirt as a as a Mickey Mouse. Like, imagine in childhood he would like to wear something like that and he would not even mind or care. Right now he'll be like, dare to make me wear this and I'm gonna fucking kill you. It's my pleasure to help you with thumbnails. I really hope that it will not be too stressful, because making thumbnails is never easy. So yeah. Alright, wow, I think we are going to continue. As far as I remember, we have stopped on memories. Yeah, we have, or I should say moments, we have gone through sandcastle, fireflies, we can't go to library, ghost, barbecue, runaway, because it is on DLC, so we can go through those that are left. Is shopping, grown up, and long day, and then we will probably move on to our next step, which will probably be different. For now, let's go through other moments and try to see what choices we can make here to make a step closer to Cove and others. So let's go to long day. It it was another scorching summer day, the kind when no sooner had you finished one cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Again, big mood, especially when you're feeling so in need of drinking so much water. And the sad thing is that sometimes in summer, when it's a rainy day, it either can help or make it worse. So yeah, the summer is a time where you basically keep hydrating a lot. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel... I won't say that he was pleased, because Nico is not an attention seeker. I would say probably nothing. Shiloh went along with wherever you wanted, so he wasn't a bother, but he also wasn't that much fun. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet, something like... let's say ice cream cone. Nothing beat a classic creamy scoop of ice cream on a day like this. That's true. Ice cream, the best sweet for summer. Also, guys, do you like ice cream sandwiches? Because I'm okay with them. I can find them as a good sweet for bringing it at home for the whole family. Like if your kid feels like to eat something sweet and and to not make a huge mess, even though the mess will still be here. Ice cream sandwich, I think it can be a good addition to either breakfast or as a lunch or maybe a midday snack. Sweet and cold. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your mouse didn't keep sweets in the house. Outside there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained, but they were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their products. And you sighed, you voiced your predicament loud, you asked Shiloh for help. I don't think that the kid asking another kid for help with payment, who is basically still not didn't get enough, didn't get older enough to be able to pay. I'm okay with ice cream sandwiches, but not big fan. That's okay. I'll probably just sigh. As much as you really wanted that treat, it wasn't going to happen. What's wrong? I want an ice cream cone. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up. That sounds good. We don't have any here, and I don't have any money. Oh, let me check if I have any. Wait, really? Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins plus one stray button. Damn, kid! You are rich! Just kidding, just kidding. You set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1. You announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he'd be watching you expectantly. It's not enough. I'm sorry. We'll need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa and under furniture, and scoured the back of drawers, trying to search for some coins under the sofa. Honestly, I have never looked under my sofa for coins, because It was... we have never lost any coins under the sofa, so it was basically not useful for us to search it around there. So basically we were looking for coins outside, like some people would lose some coins and we would pick them up and save it, but nowadays it's kind of dangerous to do it because who knows what kind of curse people would say to the coin, and what if you accidentally pick it up and you basically cursed your family. Most of what you found was useless or gross. Bent paper clips, fluffy wisps of dust or sandy crumbs, but every so often one of you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pulling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins once again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. Is that enough? Oh shoot, I should be careful with clicking because it skips no, not the load, what was the text? You didn't know when the second button had decided to join the body, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? You figured he knew the answer without looking to you for confirmation, but the thrill of your success and the reward that would follow cancelled out any other feelings you might have had about that. Yeah, you could now afford something at the shops, just one thing, but that was infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay! The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar bowed you on... Is it Boyd? Who knows how to read? Sorry. The promise of sugar brought you on to your destination where, breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed to the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause. Aren't you getting an ice cream cone? Shiloh asked as though he was entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Shiloh cocked his head on the side to the side. It was your idea. You should choose. Okay, let's see. You went ahead and got what you wanted originally. Are you really sure it's okay? You tried to get something you both wanted anyway. Are you really sure it's okay? Yeah! Really? Really? Pleased you bought the dessert you'd longed for. Sweet success. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You laughed at the soft ice cream. The sweetness perked you up. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head. Shh. You can finish it. He didn't want any? After everything he did to help get it? That was weird. You hesitate. It's okay, Nico. You want it more than I do, and I'm really happy that we got to play today already. You finish it. Well, it wasn't worth arguing further. The frozen treat was being worn away by the sun and starting to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. If you waited much longer, then neither of you would be getting to eat it. Alright, thanks. The two of you began to head back home as you ate. You offered the treat once more to Shiloh, but he refused again. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid to. Hold on a moment. Are we friends? Shiloh opened his eyes wide, seemingly caught off guard by the blunt question.
Yeah, I think so.
He says that, but friends should be able to talk to each other without being scared. If Shiloh wouldn't do that, were you even really friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously over your non-reaction.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You weren't sure how sorry he could be without knowing what he is even apologizing for, but you shook your head. You didn't do anything. It was true. Shiloh hadn't done something mean. He had gone out of his way to make you happy. That didn't seem like it should be a bad thing, yet it bothered you. I just don't know if you like me. It's like it doesn't matter what I do, you're gonna act the same. I could be anybody, and you wouldn't care.
No, I like you. I really, really like you, Nico. I want to be friends.
Okay. You smiled hesitantly at him, and his fidgeting ceased. Even though you weren't sure if you believed him, this was only making things worse. You decided that maybe there were all types of friends. If Shiloh wasn't able to do things differently, this would have to be alright. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times, and there had been confusing ones. You were positive on one thing then, at least. The treat was delicious, and that was nice. Of course, everything about the treat. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted two very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. What happened to my boy? What did you do to him, Lizzie? He walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, you... Let's carefully ask what happened. Without a time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witness. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even come to Cove's aid. He wanted to hear the story. Cove, what happened?
Nico, I got yelled at.
He took a deep, steadying breath.
Some grandparents got mad at me. Oh, sorry.
Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of the nearby house. Your heart sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. Every year, the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them, but the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. This elder couple needs a good kick on their butts and get the heck out of there.
Yeah, Lizzie said.
Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction.
I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do?
No, I'm just gonna stay away.
Or you could teach them a lesson.
There was a devilish glint in her eyes. Uh-oh, girl, what are you up to? I'm honestly afraid. I don't think this is gonna end up good. What?
You should ding-dong digidam, go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great cause they're so slow, they'll never catch you.
Lizzie, my dear, I know that they are slow and they will not catch you, but this is honestly can be too, like, mean. You should just don't mind them. Let's just distract from this grumpy old couple that will not be You saw that they will not change their mind. Let's just don't mind them and that's it. They can scream and yell however they want. We'll just ignore them and that's it. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again. Agree.
You're saying that because you're a cluck chicken.
Lizzie, don't make me mad. Cove glared but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you.
You're not a chicken, are you?
I would rather be a chicken than having a problem. You'd rather just avoid them. You thought it is a rose. I'll do it. Let's just avoid them. That's all. Well, let's not cause troubles. I mean, you are still kids. You can get in trouble very easily, and problems will be solved by parents, and parents will be mad at you, at us, and the father will be mad at Cove and stuff. So I don't want any problems to any of you. Plus, I'm pretty sure that Nico would also avoid problems because he doesn't want to be bothered by any of this stuff. He'll be just chill and relax and stuff. You would rather just avoid. You looked at the house. Behind those closed doors lurked two beings, rich in years but poor in patience. Maybe they deserved retaliation, maybe they didn't, but that punishment would be coming from you. It was safer to stay far away from them. You could live without a hassle. Yes, agree. I'm not doing it either.
Another chicken for the coop. This is a hen house now.
If we are chickens, you are a lizard, Lizzie. She wagged her tongue at his face.
Still better than the bird brain. Chicken.
The counter door opened, revealing one of the two culprits. The old man's wizened face was set in a skull, which was to say he looked exactly like he always did when you saw him. Maybe that was his normal face.
What are you kids doing, loitering outside my house?
Or maybe he was always just in a terrible mood. I mean, adults sometimes have such terrible faces and moods.
Nothing.
He repeated the word as if it was the greatest crime anyone could commit.
Nothing good, more like get lost.
It wasn't as if he owned the space outside the house, but Cove's eyes, still red from his earlier tears, were wide, and you thought it would be best to heed the old man's command. Lizzie took off, with Shiloh immediately trailing after her without so much as a glance back in your direction. Your old man's voice was funny. Shut up! So much for your friendship. You waved your arm at Cove, summoning him to follow you, and ran after Lizzie. The old man's hollers propelled you all from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin.
Hey, Cove.
Cove lifted his head.
I told you there were mean grandparents around here.
Cove rolled his eyes, then decided this wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting to Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd be second fiddle again to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. And it was fine, probably for him.
Sheila could prefer Lizzie as much as he wanted to. You closed your eyes, laid on your side, and relaxed. Some time passed with you like that. It felt good to take a real break.
Ah, we got another CGI!
You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under on cold, rainy days. You wondered if the clouds would be as soft. They lazily floated on by, splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes.
Let's probably say cloud shapes.
He nudged Cove and pointed at the sky.
What does it look like?
Cove looked up at the sky, hanging his head back and to the side. Finally, he shook his head. I don't see anything.
Really?
Really? What do you see?
Clouds?
He chuckled at that. All the sun's light faded from the sky and the moon rose higher. Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and surveyed her surroundings. The ocean, visible from the crest of the hill, beckoned with every sweep of the tide. Let's go to the beach! There was no argument from the other two. Sheila was still Sheila, and Cove would never say no to going to the shore. He was a child of the sea. You...
Yeah, why not?
So you eagerly joined the others in descending the hill down to the water. You stepped onto the sand for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach was nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sandcastles and footsteps in the sand, too big to belong to any of you, were the only indication of how busy it had been only hours earlier. The four of you kicked shoes off and removed socks and walked along the water's edge. The waves tickled your feet. I wonder what would happen if you tried to take a bath in the ocean with shampoo and everything. That could be bad for the fish. I didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It would hurt the fishes. I like bubble baths at home. They're a lot of fun. Me too. Bubble baths are luxurious. You've never heard Lizzie use that word before? Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time.
Lizzie, I have a question. When and how did you see what Mother did? I'm having more questions with each story we are going.
Hey, when is your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while. She's busy. What about your dad? How come you never talk about him? Nobody does. Don't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they never talk about? You kept your eyes on the ground, watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even if Sheila never seemed upset when this topic came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both of your moms. It's okay. I'm like Lizzie and Nico. I don't have a dad, but I don't have two moms. I just have one. She's really great.
Oh, shoot. Is it another story where a kid is raised by one parent because someone just decided to, I'm tired of you and I'm gonna live with another person? This is why family doesn't mean that you're going to be together.
Oh, sorry.
I only have one now too. My mom isn't here. She's back home. It's just my dad with me.
Oh, I never had a dad or anything, so I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone.
Cove nodded. Maybe let's try to ease up the mood. I mean, joking would probably make things worse. Saying anything will probably also not help much. So let's go with this. Even if they're all different, our parents are good in their own ways.
Yeah!
Cove couldn't muster a response. I don't think he truly disagreed though. The silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sodden sand splattered against your legs. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Cove joined in, striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out to Cove's spray zone with a grin. Yes, Shiloh also needs a therapist like Cove. I'm pretty sure all of these kids need a therapist. I mean, no. The entire city or village, I don't know what it calls, the entire place needs a therapist because these grandparents that yelled at kids for no reason. Cove's dad is making sure that with money he can get everything, and also Shiloh's dad is not here and he's just with his mother, and Lizzie getting devilish ideas. Everyone needs a therapy, that's for sure. Let's go there. You used your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. He laughed as she spluttered some of the salty sea water having landed in her mouth. She spat it out.
Yuck!
Lizzie chased you, intent of revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were silently forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Shiloh's brief exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet, caused by him falling face first onto the ground. That would have been bad enough without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain, as you all hurried over to check on him. His hair was plastered to his head and his sewed clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy! Are you okay?
Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over. Way to go, Shiloh, you dumbo.
Lizzie! Don't call him dumb. Let's over here. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice and held her hand out to Shiloh too. He reached over and took it. Slowly, he started to pull himself from the ground. So he accepted Lizzie's hand and not mine. Great. Fucking great. Fucking great. Then he slipped on the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down, just in time for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry.
What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought that they must be low. But there is no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose, then pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and whipped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again as well, this time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy, but that didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake.
damp clothes may have weighted down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside, chatting to Cove's dad.
We are back!
Your mom's faces fell as they took in the state you all were in, ranging from messy to soaked. Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. They certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that how you want him to be for the long drive home? Cold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cove's matted hair.
You've been out making memories, Bucko. I'm glad you had a good time with your friends.
Cove used his slightly moist cast arm to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and had just as much fun. That might be right, kids. What can you do? Come on, Go. Let's go get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset. Cole winced at the thought. Okay. That's your boy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove up off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him, but that didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested being carried, but only got the reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cleve.
Night, Demius family, and Shiloh too.
Well, we'd better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom.
Yes, Mom. Okay, Lizzie's mom.
Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. That wouldn't do much good tonight. Sitting on an old beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall. Until you were less sandy, you weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. It had been decided that Sheila would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Miss Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing him without that hat on for once. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got to go in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath as she had hoped. This was a no fun allowed clean-up session. At least that's what she claimed.
I mean, Lizzie, you're still young for having a bath with candles and stuff. And also, I still have questions. How did you get to see what your mom's doing during the bath time?
Not much longer, and it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you had to go right to bed. After a day like this, though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting out to sleep sounded like a great idea.
And we finished the long day memory.
Okay, let's go to probably shopping?
Come back before it gets dark, alright, sport?
The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but he still felt a little weird for getting caught. You gotta learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them of sand, then jogged over to join the two.
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Nico?
Taking a walk.
I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's lots of snails around there. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After he finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? He shrugged. Cove was in the process of making a similar motion. He didn't have anything else to do, and he hadn't been to the stores in a few days. Maybe there was something new to look at. Maybe. Is that okay?
I guess.
I was going by myself, but I guess it is. You don't have to.
Great.
Odd, since your moms only ever seem to have cards in theirs.
Here.
He leaned in to pass a crisp cent to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend too. Sure.
That's my boy.
Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up, the bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy.
Take care.
Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. Then, with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. He followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Go straight towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining, there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently.
Shall we ask him? Probably ask because he seemed to worry. What is it?
Nothing. He kept staring down at the ground though. You bit down on your lip a little, wanted to say something else, but not knowing what. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run out of the sand quickly when a wave rushed in more than a few times, and although Cove threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word.
So... what do you usually do on the beach?
Lots of things. I like bodyboarding and volleyball and surfing and everything and stuff. The idea of standing on a big board while the waves propelled you towards shore was mystifying.
I'm not allowed to surf. It looks hard.
Not once you get the hang of it. I could show you sometime.
Aww, you're sweet.
But I'm also not supposed to surf right now because I have this. He lifted up one arm, showing all of the glaring pink cast wrapped around his wrist.
Yeah.
I also like collecting stuff that's on the shore. Shells, sand dollars. I found a shark tooth once.
You did?
Go stretched out his forefinger and thumb. It was this long.
That was somehow both scary and delightful. No way!
I mean it! I still have it under my bed.
You'd have to remember to ask him to show it to you sometime.
What about you? What do you do out here?
I like swimming.
Cove's lips curled up in a small smile. Me too.
It occurred to you that you hadn't been swimming in a while.
There was just so much to do before school started up again, and so little time. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day, the call of birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too,
pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. Cove is a sweet child and needs support. Agree, he needs an emotional support. But father gave him emotional damage. Anyway, it was nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out.
What's that?
Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with large, colorful umbrellas blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander! In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read "The Amazing Alexander" in glittery golden script. Oh, is it another, street magicians, sort of, tricksters and stuff? Why tell people his name if it's already on a sign? Cole hummed in with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the amazing Alexander began shuffling the deck of cards. Maybe we could stay and watch? Cove glanced back at the man. He then briefly lifted his arms up off his sides before returning them to place. You grinned, waving for him to follow as you raced back to stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely! You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! The amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Let me save real quick.
Nothing?
It was true, you didn't keep anything there. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you wrinkled your nose in confusion as you watched him. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. What? He knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but he still didn't get how he'd done it. There was light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Whoa! Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. Let's see. If so, he was lucky. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. Let's probably take, or maybe let's save again. Sorry if I keep saving, but let's say pick up kaleidoscope. Oh, these are cool. You shifted your balloon string to your other hand so you could bring the mysterious tunnel to your eye.
A whole palette of colors appeared right in front of you, spinning into all kinds of different shapes as you twisted the end of the tube. Cove picked one up and looked through, twisting the tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the store. He went under the awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. No. Did you have places like this in your old town? Cove blinked at you for a moment and you wondered if you shouldn't have asked. He knew how much he missed that place. Not really. He nodded in understanding, looking over at the stalls nearby. While Cove looked at sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were soon in the shape of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read, "Handmade," standing proudly in front. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Let's pick up probably a dolphin. Or maybe we should say first. Let's go to the... Your hand stopped on the dolphin, so similar to a balloon animal. It was made of a bright material that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. You remembered once seeing a pod of dolphins swimming out in the distance at the beach, jumping out of the water and splashing as they dived back in again. That was a great day. You were instantly enamored. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You rarely had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Oh, it's $6. I didn't bring any money. It's fine. You don't have to. Cove didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hands and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself too. My dad told me to. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. I don't think that Cove was happy about that. We really need to find something to bring him, like as a gift. We really need to find something for him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey Cove. Yeah?
Guys, what should we choose? Shall I ask him about Dad's money, or just never mind, or like just say that we really like this keychain? What do you guys think is better? Let's say about keychain, I guess. I guess so too. I really like this keychain. Thank you. Cove shrugged, looking at the sea creature with impassive eyes. Cove looked further down the street, where different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach, and just as he did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. Shit. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder.
After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you... let's go with chocolate. Licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It had tiny marshmallows on it and was dripping with chocolate, just how you liked it. Your mom didn't like you to eat too much sugar, but this was a special occasion. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know! After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tucked the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. Oh!
Oh, so sweet! Ah! Oh my gosh, my heart is gonna melt.
Cove bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around but remain attached, he smiled satisfied.
Sorry for making such noises, but they're cute! Oh my gosh.
Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast, restricting his fingers on one hand and the string already tangled around the other.
Okay.
Got it! The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into a dodgy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time you finished your pretzel, you were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down to your level. Then, you held a dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned your face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining parts of his pretzel on the wrapper and he was gripping his dolphin too.
Wait, Merryweather? Is it a reference to a writer and also a VTuber, Merryweather, who writes scripts for VTubers? Is it a reference? Or maybe it's just a random name, but you know. If you know, guys, you know. If not, there is a writer and a VTuber called Mary who interested in comics. I think I saw them on Twitter. He also has a YouTube. Not sure if he has a Twitch. Yeah. If you don't know, sister, go check it out. Mary the weather. Oh jeez. Internet glitched again? Oh shoot. Okay. But yeah, if you don't know who it is, try to tap it and see who it is. But I don't know why. I'll probably my Nico would probably go with a regular one. Mine's name is Sam. They're just a regular dolphin. You sighed, thinking about how great it would be to have a pet dolphin of your own. What is yours? Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... With a loud pop, the dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh no! Oh no.
For a second, all Cove did was gap in shock like you. Then his cheeks popped up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten.
Oh no, no, no. God damn it. Let's give him a balloon. Our balloon. You could have my balloon instead, if you wanted.
Cove looked over at you, frowning.
I don't want yours.
Oh. You felt bad for Cove, but were secretly glad. He really liked the little dolphin and weren't too eager to give up.
Nico!
Cove spent the rest of the day out and sniffing and didn't say much else.
Can we give him that small one that he bought to us as a gift? Please, please, please.
The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset, fitted with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been nice for the most part. Hopefully there won't be any tears next time.
God damn it, and you didn't even give me a chance to at least offer him a keychain? Seriously? Man, I'm feeling bad for Cove. I'm feeling really bad. I hope that we can be able to give him something in return, really. I hope for that. Okay, last memory, growing up.
One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rock on the floor.
I think you need to find Alexander next. Are you sure about that? Actually, shall we do it right now? Shall we do it right now? Yeah, I'll do it right now.
We could go to find the amazing Alexander. He could give you another one. You didn't want to see Cove cry, and that's really all you can think to do about it.
No.
No?
Cove stared sadly at what was left of his dolphin, tears rolling down his cheeks. He wasn't moving an inch from that spot. He thought it was too bad, not even trying to get another one, but if that's what he wanted to do, you couldn't stop him.
Are you serious? Even that? Oh man.
Cove spent the rest of the outing sniffing and didn't talk much. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure.
Are you serious? Man! It didn't change anything! I'm mad. I'm mad. Where is the option where I could cheer him up and just give him that keychain? Well, let's go back to the grown up, shall we?
One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rock on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you alone with Lizzie to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient waiting for her golf class that evening. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt that it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave you a new wave of energy. Since we are stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They are always inside and telling everybody they are too busy to play.
This is not how adulthood works, Lizzie. We don't just stay inside. We are also going to work, we are also going shopping, we are also doing other stuff to survive.
Why?
I said why, and it will be fun. Duh.
What do they do inside that we don't? Besides use the phone a lot.
Okay, that's kinda true.
Excluding a small hop, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
Nico, what do you think? Do you want to?
I bet he could come over soon. I don't know.
Please, Nico. What if I ever had a bad idea?
Shall I remind you, Lizzie? Shall I remind you? Whenever we play with you.
Exactly.
I wasn't asking you.
I would say hesitating because, you know, to be adult is to play as adult is not really fun. You are kids. You should enjoy your life as kids for now. You shouldn't be playing as adults. This was rude from Lizzie. Yeah, true.
You look down at your hands, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind, Lizzie sighed.
Fine, go play over there, Nico.
You flinched from her raised voice. It definitely won't be fun to join now.
Me and Cole will do it ourselves. It's decided.
He looked ahead blankly. I guess.
Now go on.
Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. Like he promised, Cove stayed put with Lizzie for the next couple of hours while you could hear them talking as you sat with a book by the window. You opened the picture book in your lap and immediately got lost in the story. It was about a little donkey who grew up on the farm, making friends with all the animals and pretending to be like them. You liked the part where she swam around in the pond with the ducks. It always made you laugh. You finished that book and went to get another, but before you could choose one, you noticed that Liz and Cole's voices were getting much louder. Curious about what was happening, you craned your neck to hear them better. At first, you mostly only picked up on Liz's high-pitched shouting, giving orders, telling Cole what to do, yelling about sports and the Olympics. That was pretty typical for Lizzie, so there was nothing new there. But then, you started hearing Cove more and more as time went on. It sounded like they weren't having a very good time.
Okay, let's see what's going on.
You abandoned your cozy reading spot to go check what was happening with them.
Hey, is something wrong?
From up close, you could see that your sister was red-faced and pouting, while Cove mostly just looked confused. Neither one paid you mind.
Shut up, Cole! You are being so unreasonable. You!
I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that.
But you are not. You worried that the two of them were getting a little too angry over whatever it was. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Had the two of them been arguing like this the whole time? Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove.
Lizzie, Nico!
Oh, sorry, it's Mom. Sorry. Lizzie, Nico, it's time to get ready to go.
Sorry you have to leave already, Cove. There, Mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But... Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight. Okay? Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with your new friend, weren't you?
We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed as Mom put both hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind on him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown.
I know! I tried, but he was...
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her.
Okay, Mom.
Good girl. You got pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Sorry. Alright, we better get a move on. Let's go, kids. No, Lanny, where did you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say a thing. Your parents noticed she wasn't in the mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. Guys, shall I replay and see and play together with to see if we can get to know what happened really, so we can see the situation more clearly?
What do you think?
Oh no. Shoot, I skipped. I just really want to see what happened.
What? Duh. What do you think?
Or maybe okay, I'll try, but sound.
It's not gonna be, I guarantee.
I really want to see what happened between of them, because I'm pretty sure that I missed the point of both sides, and it's my fault, and I need to see it. Lizzie seemed more determined than ever, and you could only sigh. Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought over her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you.
Okay, I'm gonna be a professional golfer. Nico, you, and Cove can be a beach volleyball player and a gymnast or a tennis player.
Why can't we pick anything we want?
Because I have a fun idea, that's why.
I mean, Lizzie, I think you would first ask us what we want before having a great idea. It would be really fair. And we have to play sports as adults?
Yep.
But there's other kinds of sports too.
It isn't the same. What do you think, Nico? Don't those choices sound super cool? You wanna be that, huh?
Isn't there anything else we can be? Lizzie stomped her foot on the ground.
Nope! Come on, just decide already!
Knowing Lizzie wouldn't let this go anytime soon, you sighed. Cove was not impressed with Lizzie's attitude, though he didn't bother talking more about it for now. He thought over the list of possibilities: beach volleyball, gymnastics, or tennis. Out of all of them, you'd prefer to play... Okay, so if I choose beach volleyball, then I mean, neither of these options would suit Cove because of his hand. Because I mean, if he is right-handed, then beach volleyball will be good for him. Because gymnastics and tennis is requires more Oh wait. Damn, Lizzie is a terrible sister for our protagonist, to be honest. I will go with gymnastics because it requires more activity with the whole body, while tennis and beach volleyball can still be done by hands and by not only with not only with left hand but right hand. And seeing Cove's hand, Cove's left hand being hurt, he could use still a right hand for it, so beach volleyball or tennis would be still sort of good option for him. I'll go gymnastics. If you couldn't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, then you might as well practice them inside. There won't be as much space as there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that was clearly the top option. Okay, I'm gonna be a gymnast.
Alright! How about you, Cove?
I pick volleyball. Okay, good.
I should have known. Okay, so Nico, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you are on a popular beach volleyball team, and
Lizzie's ponytail bobbed when she proudly stretched her arms wide.
We are Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics.
Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted the glasses on his nose. That's really specific.
That's what makes it fun. Anyway,
Lizzie marched back and forth in front of the both of you, getting lost in her own imagination.
I won all gold medals, and people are calling me the next Mikey Wright.
Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with impatience.
It doesn't matter if you know who she is, it's a gold thing. You guys won medals too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Nico, you barely missed out on the gold and got silver. It's more real if we are not all first place.
Lizzie, I think I'm getting the picture of you. You are narcissistic fucking bitch. That's who you are. And even if adults do Olympics, you're doing it very unfair right now. You are doing it all as to make you sure that you are the center of this world, of this game. And I don't like your attitude on this one. But since we are playing as Nico, he's probably doesn't really care. I'm okay with that. You shrugged your shoulders, agreeing with Lizzie. A silver medal was still really good in the Olympics. Oh, shoot. I'm not. Cove folded his arms across his chest, apparently not as happy as you were with the decision.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the bricks.
Then you're the one who did, not me. Lizzie looked taken aback by Cove's declaration, as to the thought of her losing was completely absurd. Okay, now it gets interesting. Oh shit, again misclicked.
No way, it won't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game.
Just because you practice, Lizzie, it doesn't mean that you are always going to be the best. Even professionals can still get gold, silver or bronze, but to lose to someone another time. This is how life works, Lizzie. You can't be always winning gold, you can also win silvers. She took a golfing stand to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invincible ball.
So what kind of house do you want to live in?
Cove hadn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he would live as an adult appealed to him, apparently because he looked back at Lizzie with some of the anger fading. Okay, internet again. What did you miss? What did you miss? I can read it out because I still skipped. Where did you stop? Where did you stop? Did we stop at where Lizzie asked what kind of house do our characters want to live in this game? Where did we stop? Where did it stop? I didn't miss anything for now. Good. Okay, go on, my turn.
That's kind of boring. We already have that.
Lizzie, you asked what house we want to live in, and Cove gave his opinion, so respect his opinion for once. No, not like the normal houses here in the street. On it, right on the sand, by the water. Just like that, all the tension was back. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you would want to live.
That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells.
Actually, some adults can.
Ah, shoot again.
But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You didn't give out a list of things to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine a thing, anything?
Jeez, well, I'm gonna live in a mansion far away from here and far away from you.
Actually, I support this idea, Lizzie.
One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing.
Oh gee, she's full ahead of herself.
How come you were yelling about mine when your idea is even more impossible?
I mean, it is impossible if you don't have a lot of money, I agree, but I don't think that getting just a house and also have a pool, not the luxury one, but a regular one, is still possible.
Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling into fists at her sides.
It is not impossible, and it's better than yours.
Lizzie, each idea has the right to exist. His idea was good, your idea was also good in some sort of matter. They can all be achievable depending on the situation and the resources we have as an adults.
Gosh, Lizzie's going so far. Yeah, she really goes so far.
Disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and you always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand this time, you thought, go.
Let me save, and I will try to choose not siding, and then if it doesn't help, then we will, or maybe I mean, if I was as a protagonist, we are playing as Nico, I would probably be tired of them arguing, but knowing Nico, he would probably be glad just be away from people and stuff, so probably beach would be good for him to live, or maybe okay, you know what, I will try to choose the last option, and if it's not good for the situation, I will side with Cove.
You didn't engage with their bickering and instead dreamt up your own dream house. And you weren't going to share your idea with them either. You already knew it was a good one. You can swim whenever you want if you live on the beach.
We can still swim anytime we want from where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything.
Says you. The two of them scowled at each other.
You're being so unreasonable. You!
I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that.
But you are not. I think now it's getting. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Nothing you'd said so far had kept them from being mad. Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove.
Lizzie, Nico, it's time to get ready to go.
Sorry you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can't go by myself. But... Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Okay.
Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you?
Nope.
We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs.
Okay, I think everything else is we already read. Let's try our favorite song.
Eventually Lizzie came around and started singing along with you. You both knew all the words and your mom even sang along too.
Oh, it's a continuation! Oh!
When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know how much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant you had all been going to ever since you could remember. The whole afternoon had been a bunch of shouting you hadn't been able to stop, but you could kind of tell that all this helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew what was coming when you all got back home. Clearly she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips. Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day is done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good, let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone, the rest of you following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. Being a tattletale didn't feel good, and you wouldn't want someone else to tell your moms everything you did. Still, your mom had asked directly, and you wanted to be a liar even less. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and she began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed the button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple of times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end.
Evening, Holden Resistance.
Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly.
Hi, Mr. Golden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Lizzie Demus? Demus? What a surprise! But of course you can say hey to the boy.
He sounded cheerly as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Noel, Annie, Nico, and I are here too. Good evening. We are sorry to bother you so late. You spoke up to say hello too.
Hi, Mr. Golden. The gang is all here, huh? Is something the matter?
His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, but it's going to be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
Fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. He does explain the funky has been in tonight.
He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought it was funny.
Anyway, it's good you didn't catch up us at the bedtime. I'll go grab him for you.
There was some shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because he could still hear him calling out.
Cove, there's someone on the phone for you.
After a bit of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad.
Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she could talk to you.
It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since he couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hello?
Hey, it's Lizzie.
Yeah, I know, Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scolding. One stern look from her though, and Lizzie turned away.
I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again.
Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. I want gold. Lizzie was momentarily stunned silent by the demand. He couldn't understand why that mattered so much to him.
Alright, you win the gold.
Okay, I guess I'm sorry too.
Okay, Cove, you could just say that let's play another game and stuff. It's okay, I guess.
A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. He wondered if she thought that he would refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? He couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye for us though.
Bye, Lizzie.
Bye.
With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
All is well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it.
As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention.
Can I go now too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off the speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. He couldn't tell what about. He were glad that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step.
Okay, I already like. I mean, it's honestly better than what it was before. So I'm glad that I returned back and played alone, so that I could know the situation better. Now we can proceed to, I think, another step. And then summer ended. Yes! I'll never get tired of that, you. You stood beside your mouse and Lizzie as the four of you watched the sun deep into the ocean somewhere far, far away. You like to imagine it cooling off in the water, resting itself before getting ready to shine brightly again tomorrow. That was a fun day. I didn't know they had magicians on the shopping street now. Neither did I. Oh no, we are so dull. Let's get out more.
He didn't do real magic, Mom.
How did you figure that one out?
Cause I know that's not what real magic looks like.
Oh, Lizzie dear, there's all kinds of magic in the world. Lizzie gave Mommy a suspicious look, but didn't dispute the claim. Well, we can't sit out here all night. Time to hurry home and get cooking. Who's helping with dinner? Lizzie immediately let out a groan. Of course she will put all the chores on me.
Mom, summer's almost over.
The protest was obvious. You could practically see school on the horizon. You certainly didn't want to spend your last bits of freedom cooking dinner. You could do that any other day. It is almost over. You tried to be subtle about your little mumble, but you saw Mom look down at you from the corner of your eye and knew she heard.
Yeah, it would be evil not to let us play until dinner.
You weren't sure evil was a fair word choice, but thought it anyway. At times like this, you had to back each other up.
Soon we'll have homework and reading to do. We can't do work now too.
Lizzie made her case and then stomped her foot into the ground. You mimicked her, feeling that would add something to the argument. Well? Oh, come on, Bob. I can help you with dinner. Mommy leaned in for a hug, and you knew that you were very close to victory.
Okay.
Alright. But as soon as dinner is ready, you lot are coming inside. Understood?
Yes, Mom.
Yes, Mom.
So much to do, so little time. Maybe I could still get the seashell bracelet at times and crickets, or maybe you play the playground, or the fireflies would probably be coming out, right?
Don't argue the say in this. Lizzie looked over at you, narrowing her eyes like she was very seriously contemplating the answer to that question. A strong gust of wind made you shiver. Lizzie huffed as she wrapped her arms around herself.
Doesn't the wind know that summer is not over yet?
That's all Lizzie said before abruptly turning on her heel and heading off in the direction your mothers had gone. Where are you going?
I'm going to my room. I have lots to plan if I want to make the most of tomorrow.
You thought this over, looking off towards the water again. Lizzie didn't wait, and before long, she was disappearing off down the road. I'll stay a bit. You watched Lizzie run off, twisting your lips as you considered what to do. In the end, the pretty sky and the soothing sound of the waves won out. You strayed off the path, grinning at the feel of the sand quickly filling in the empty space in your flip-flops. That was fun for a while, but you grew bored eventually. How else could you enjoy the remainder of your time at the beach? Let's go for the seashells. You walked to the shoreline, peering at any debris that washed up. Most of it was just seaweed, rocks and trash, and now and then you would spot a seashell. You picked up the ones that stood out to you until you had a nice little collection. It was a great evening, but soon enough you had your fill and were ready to join the rest of your family back home. Not too much farther down, you spotted a familiar green head of hair moistening around along the shore. let's go and say hi.
Curious, you strayed off your path and walked over to him. Cove knelt down, picking up something you quickly identified as a smooth rock. He reared his arm back, then tossed it out into the water.
Oh wait, did I skip something? It was a good toss, that was pretty neat. What are you doing?
Cove jumped a little and you let out a small giggle.
Sorry.
What are you doing out there?
I asked first.
Cove frowned, turning back to the waves. I'm not doing anything, just thinking. Cove was looking down at his cast, scratching idly at the pink surface, even though you were pretty sure he couldn't feel it. His brows were furrowed and there was a frown on his face. It's not fair. I've had to wear this cast for ages. I can't even swim.
Let me think for a moment. How'd you get it?
I was jet skiing.
What? At such age? Really?
Cove narrowed his eyes a little. Yeah, why would I lie?
I didn't mean it like that.
He then continued to explain. I crashed. He gestured to his arm as if to say, and this was the result.
It's hard to believe you're allowed to jet ski. Yeah, true. I bet it was his dad's idea.
Well, I'm not.
Oh.
Cove let out a huff, plopping down into the sand. I can't believe summer is almost over. You sat down next to him and nodded in agreement, regardless of the sudden topic change. I don't want to go to school. I mean, I would. I don't want to go to a new school. I think it'll be the same school as you and Lizzie. My dad said something about that.
So why don't you want to go? It's nice as far as schools go.
You'd only ever been to the one school, but he was sure that his old school couldn't have been that much better. Then again, he did have to make new friends and meet new teachers. It could be kind of scary. Cove shook his head, then wrapped his good arm around his knees as he drew them to his chest. You heard a sniffling sound, and when you took a good look at his face, you realized that his eyes were wet.
I want to go home.
You weren't sure what to do. It felt weird to just leave him here, crying, but what could you say that would help? You frowned a little, starting to stand.
Okay, well, bye then.
Cove gave his head a small shake. No, I want to go back home. Right. Cove wanted to go back to his old home. The one that sat waiting someplace far from here. The one he would bring up whenever he felt like this sad. It had been a while since he had moved in, but he didn't seem to feel any better about being here. He settled back down into the sand, trying to consider what to do.
Let's try to choose something.
Do you hate it here? Cove's brow furrowed even more. Then he shook his head. You're not going to leave, right? You'll still be around? The question was a little surprising.
Can we promise him to do that? Or better say, I don't know. Oh, sure, this is a tough one. Okay, which one I saved? Okay, this one. I As Nico would probably say, I don't know. If not, I will go to of course. I don't know. Probably, I think. You were pretty sure your moms would tell you if you were going to move, but the way Cove asked, so hesitant and vulnerable, made you feel a little uncertain to make a promise you might not keep.
That's true.
After a second, Cove gave a little nod. Once I get my cast off, we could go swimming. You were fine with him changing the subject again. Yeah, that would be fun. Cove smiled, then looked back to the waves. My dad keeps saying I'll get used to everything eventually, that I would feel better then. It used to make me angry. I didn't want to get used to everything. You spared a glance over at Cove and saw the anger had slipped off his face in favor of something almost puzzled. But maybe that will be okay after all, as long as I really do feel better. I can't see it. The two of you sat quietly, just taking in the sounds of waves. Lost in thought, you started a bit when you heard a faint, familiar sound. The sound of your mom shouting your name. You looked over your shoulder, realizing it was probably time for dinner.
Ah, geez, those dudes on motorbikes, of course. Sorry if you heard them. Sorry if you heard them, but it's because I opened my window to make it less hot here. So if you heard them, my bad.
Had you guys really been sitting out there that long? You stood and dusted the sand off of yourself. My mom is calling. It's time for dinner. You should come. Cove looked up at you, expression screaming reluctance, yet ultimately, okay. When you smiled, Cove returned with one of his own. But the two of you couldn't stay here in your own little world any longer. You were being called forward. So the both of you ran off towards your house, leaving the waves and summer behind. And that's the end of the first step. In between. Okay, so we hadn't changed anything. Maybe we'll add earrings. No glasses, that's for sure. Pants, shirts, necklaces, that's true for sure. No birthmarks, no freckles. Okay. Let's go font. Shall I go relaxed or nervous? Probably go relaxed. Oh, we can customize Cove! Wow! He looks so cute here. What? Shall I save a picture for later thumbnails? What do you guys think? Because I mean, look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. Okay, what hair does he? You can save some pictures. Okay, give me a moment. Let me go to my chatting screen and save this one first. Okay, paint. I mean, he looks so adorable here. I just can't. Such precious smile. I feel so bad for him. Hold on, let me... Come on, computer, please don't be a snail for me. Okay. Where's my... Okay. Okay, let's get back to my game, to our game. What can we customize for him? I can see hair, glasses, shirt, pants. I can change his hair. Oh, he has two types. I like this one. I like this one better. Glasses. Probably not. He has this shirt. He has this shirt. Oh, only two types. I see. Pants. This is ridiculous. I'd probably go with this one. Oh, it's a bracelet. I kind of like this one. Probably this. Oh, it's his pajamas. Okay, so here is the same, but the pajamas. Oh my gosh, I like this one. Hold on. I must save. I must save. You know me. Okay, save this one. Also, what is next page? Oh, it's a jacket. I like this one. This one is better. Cool. Here, this one will be good. Hold on a second. Okay, I think we are done. So we have the casual look, his pajama, and his jacket. And we are done. August ended, September began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. We weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids. From what you saw, anyway.
You can customize Cove's clothes, but not MC's. Yeah, sadly.
Originally, he treated you like everyone else, passing by as if you didn't know each other. But as the years went on, the two of you acknowledged each other more and more. A friendship had started to grow. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody. At first, you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too, for different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He had said that he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes, Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. You weren't sure how well it worked in changing Cove's thoughts on the town, yet it might have been part of the reason you and Cove ended up growing closer. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. Maybe one day, he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly, you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest popped out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did on tests and in other academic situations. Over the years, he began opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone.
Wait, what? Gone?
He and his mom moved back south because of her work just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks, but nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago.
Uh-oh. Is it because we didn't make a good friendship with him, he moved? Damn.
You learned some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. Things at home were different too. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before.
Ma dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. You remember calling her Mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were much too old for the word. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname too. She insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth, so you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Squires was happy to let Derek tag along to his work if Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed, in small and big ways. You had too. As time went by though, it was easy to settle into this new normal. Then, before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was as hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were...
I would say snuggled up in the bed.
It was hot, but you still had the blanket up over your head to block out the sun. You didn't want it intruding on your lazy morning. Unfortunately, you hadn't prepared for an intrusion. From beneath the blanket, you heard the door creak open.
You are still sleeping? Wow, get up.
Morning.
Morning, now get up. I will come over there.
So much for lazy morning.
Mom told me to tell you that your friend's at the door. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Golden. Mom wants you to take it from him, say thanks or whatever. So come down already.
Really? That's great. I'm coming.
Elizabeth said nothing else and left, having done what was entrusted of her. You rolled out of bed, stretching your arms up high and yawning. Time to get ready. You sat yourself in front of the mirror in the far corner of your room.
Let's say that he was pretty not tall, but also not too short. And we were average.
Cove was really tall, Derek was kind of short, and you were pretty much the exact height that someone would expect for a 13-year-old. It suited you well, in your mind. Then you put the finishing touches on your outfit while ruminating on the situation. Careless as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to, so this worked in your favor. Your reflection grinned back at you. You were looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, taking an easy time down the stairs.
Step 2. Second chance. Yay! We are starting a new step. Alright. Shall we save here and begin a new chapter later? What do you guys think? Also, I will save here. It's late time for me. Okay, good. Then we will continue the next chapter later, so that we could see how far the relationship between Cove and our protagonist
in our case Nico will go, and what have changed and how the story will progress. Yes, I want to quiet the game for now. So yeah, I know that I went a bit cheating on changing the decisions, but I, as a person who is curious about different points of view, I couldn't just, like, you know, close my eyes on what happened, especially when Cove and Lizzie got in an argument. I just couldn't let it go like that, so I had to change. I hope you don't mind it. But yeah, I'm curious to see how the story will go. So tomorrow and on weekends it will be a chilling day where I decide what games we can play. And next week, like I promised, I will do streams in Ukrainian so that my Ukrainian fellows can come and enjoy it. And also, I think if the game I planned will work well, maybe I will do a small cooperation with my sister and solve puzzles together. For now, thank you so much for coming to the stream, and thanks for watching and supporting and cringing over my decisions and voice acting. Definitely, sister, definitely. Okay, for now, hope you're having a good evening, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Bye bye.